Good morning, good people. Welcome to another edition of Double the Innocence with your boy E-Dub. Gem Dropper, Showstopper. How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday? Weather's not exactly the greatest in the world. Apparently it's supposed to rain all weekend. But as long as you guys got health and strength, everything else is gravy. Hope you guys enjoy your Saturday as well as your weekend. Out here in the streets of Montreal, if you can't do too many things outside, that's okay. I mean, honestly speaking, if I didn't have to be out here, man, today's the kind of day I feel I could just lay around and do absolutely zero. So, I'm just going to touch a little bit on the Bronny James thing. Before I even go any further, I want you guys to know, I don't have any issues with Bronny James whatsoever. He's a kid. So you're not going to really hear me speak too much ill will on Bronny James whatsoever. The only thing I'm going to say, I'm just going to add my 2 cents where I'm saying that I personally don't think that he should have been an individual that should have been selected this year into the league. I personally believe that he because of the connections that he had, he took that roster spot from somebody that rightfully deserved it. That's as good as it gets for me and Bronny James. As far as his dad's concerned, now that's open season on his punk. I'm going to continue to share my opinion because, like I said, I'm an old school individual. Even though, like, you know, besides the gray, it might be a little bit hard to tell. I'm just kidding. But I grew up watching and loving this game. I understand rules and a lot of that stuff was a lot different back then. But the quality of the game was at its height. So for me to actually stand back and watch the transition of the game, because back when I was growing up, it was more a defensive-minded game. And that's why you learn to appreciate guys like a Michael Jordan or an Isaiah Thomas or a Tim Hardaway or any one of those guys that were able to break down defenses back then, because that was the main focus. Back then, you had games finishing basically 87-78. Those were the final scores. So the league itself was more defensive-minded. So they took away the defense out of the game because they wanted to make the game more appealing. They wanted to be able to sell the game a little bit more. And they believe that offense, a lot of scoring, enhances the game. But if you look at a lot of scoring, like for example, the All-Star game right now is probably at its worst, and every year the viewership is probably going to get lower and lower, for the simple fact of the matter that why would anybody want to waste 2 hours? Let's round it off. Yeah, 2 hours to sit down and just watch celebrity basketball, because that's all it is. It's just a show. At least when I was growing up, the All-Star games, the first half would have been more or less, you know, everybody showing off their techniques and talents or whatever the case may be. But the second half, everybody's kind of locking down because they're playing for a little bit of pride. It was East versus West. When they went to the All-Star game and they started, you know, LeBron James versus Kevin Durant squad or LeBron James versus Steph Curry squad, when they started all that type of nonsense, they took the last bit of competitiveness out of the All-Star game when they went that route, in my humble opinion. And I'm going to let you guys know, whatever you hear me say here today, I'm not going to continue saying in my humble opinion. You guys are just going to have to know that's what it is. It's in my humble opinion. There's some people that seem to be irritated because, you know, I come up here and I'm one of the ones that I'm not afraid to speak my mind, especially where your king is concerned. And what I say to those people is, unfortunately, if it irritates you and bothers you that much, there's certain buttons on your phone that you could operate and use. They work wonderfully to cure problems like that. I beg nobody to sit here and listen to what I have to say. The people that I want to be here are people that are interested and agree, or are willing to have an adult discussion or debate about the situation, and that's it. I enjoy what I do when I come up here. I enjoy creating content, but I do this how can I say this? I do this more for myself. It's a little bit of a passion of mine. It's something that I just enjoy doing. Whether I become one of the most famous content creators on YouTube, or I stay at the bottom of the dweller, I'm good with either, because this is not my entire life. This is just me doing something that I enjoy doing, and I'm willing to reap whatever rewards come with that. I'm good. And with that being said, I'm gonna continue coming up here. I'm gonna continue expressing my opinion on whatever it may be, whatever the topic of conversation might be. If it's about the injustice I feel that's going on in the NBA, if it's about the simple fact of the matter that, as good as Caitlin Clark is, I believe Angel Reese should be in that all-star conversation, point blank and period. As a matter of fact, right now, if the all-stars to the WNBA had to be chosen right now today, Angel Reese, I believe, should win that hands down. She's a walk-in double-double. And she does it with absolutely no apologies. Now, you ask why. Oh, yeah, well, her and Caitlin Clark's numbers are roughly the same. So why? That's exactly why she should be the MVP of the league. Why? Because the simple fact of the matter that everybody believed that Caitlin Clark was going to come into the league and dominate the league, destroy the league, and be everything that the league had to offer. So just the simple fact of the matter that Angel Reese is able to be standing right there beside her where numbers are concerned. Nobody was expecting Angel Reese to be in no kind of conversation. As a matter of fact, people still try to keep her out of the conversation. But you know what? When Angel Reese keeps walking around creating double-doubles out there, she's a walking double-double. She's the female version of a Dennis Rodman. That is what Angel Reese is. Now, miss me with all the nonsense about, breaking it down to the color barrier. I'll let you guys know again. When it comes to the game of basketball, I see one color, and that's orange. The color of the basketball. Period. Basketball is just like every other sport. Is one of those sports that brings all communities and cultures together. So I grew up knowing it that way. Miss me with the nonsense. It has absolutely nothing to do with the color of Caitlin Clark's skin. Why I'm up here talking about Angel Reese, because I was one of the first people to come in and let people know we need to stop all that bashing that we're bashing on Caitlin Clark, because she doesn't deserve all of that. She has a competitive instinct that people want to take as however they want to take it. But there's no way in hell I'm going to dislike Caitlin Clark because she has a competitive aspect to her. She's not out here complaining about what the women in the WNBA are doing to her and all that stuff. It's her surroundings. So we cannot hold her accountable for what others want to be spreading. Last I checked, all she's out here doing is balling. She spends a little bit too much time complaining about calls she's not getting. She spends a little bit too much time with those antiques. Yes, but that's a different story for a different day. In terms of Caitlin Clark, she hasn't really been expressing nothing negative about her experience so far in the WNBA. It's been the media. It's been everybody else around her. Well, guys, I feel a little bit better. I got some stuff off of my chest. So I'm feeling good about myself right now. And I appreciate the fact of the matter that you guys gave me the opportunity to come up here and do just that. I want you guys to have yourself a wonderful Saturday. I'm going to say it again. Enjoy it to the fullest. And if you ain't got to go nowhere, stay home. Relax. Lounge around. Have yourself a blessed day, peeps. W and Sense with your boy E-Dub is out.